325 is the star of Mars. It's quite interesting doing this Mars report today because I was able to see the story of the first woman, quote unquote, Eve, fall in the Garden of Eden. So if we look at the slide, what we see is 324. We see 324, and that's like an Eve. And we know that there's an actor who plays 324 or Eve, and that was Queen Elizabeth the First, followed by the hybrid seed, followed by the other Elizabethans. I call them the Elizabethan dynasty. And but here we've got 324, and we know Queen Elizabeth the First, she died March the 24th, 1603, on the Gregorian calendar. And here we also see this 156, which is kind of like related to the rabbinical Enoch, quote unquote, calendar. And we see here in the garden, the 17th day of December, we see 280. And if you go back to the community post, you will see where I'm talking about Waverley and giving a definition of Waverley. And if you go to the book of Enoch, I think it's chapter 13, you see where Enoch talks about what's going to happen to Azazel, And if you go to the testimony of Solomon, Solomon talks about this deity as well, and where this deity's star is. So it's quite useful to read the two texts, to read the two scriptures. And then if you read the book of Jubilees, in Jubilees it says that Adam fell on the 7th year. It was exactly the 7th year, so we know it's an equinox, and he fell. So Adam was only he was only 7, and that really broke my heart. That really made me cry when I read that text some years ago, when I read that in the book of Jubilees, and then I read the Cave of Treasures, and then the book describes how dark, they've never experienced darkness like that before. And I just felt it was so sad. I thought, oh, this guy, he's only 7. But then, having come across, at this moment, when I read that book, I did not know about no Mars vibration. I didn't know about no Rose vibration. I didn't know about no Eve vibration. All these vibrations, hey, I did not even know. So it's been such a learning process for me, and I'm so grateful to the Most High. I'm grateful for the time to sit down at his feet and for him to just teach me. I'm so grateful. And the Ruach HaKodesh, grateful, and all of the set apart Kodesh, Malakim, the guidance, the teaching, the help for Yahushua Mashiach, just showing us the way to live, to navigate this world. Grateful to the great cloud of witnesses that we had. Some of them have passed on, but their story still lives on. Because of their passing on, I've been able to use primary data to bring some of this stuff to you, for you who are listening, for you who have subscribed, and for you who have shared. Please share, because this is for the elect. Please share. Please subscribe. Please like. Because hours has been put into this. I mean, I've not worked for about 5 years, and if you read why I do the Mars report, that was because I was afflicted heavily. I had no idea what on earth was going on. And for me, the Gregorian birthday that I'm born on, it's on a Queen Elizabethan line. I'm reading, doing the notes for this today, and I'm crying because I'm seeing my story. I'm there reading in a journal my family story. Imagine that. Imagine the great detail that these wicked, wicked people, right? I don't even know if I can call them people, have gone through to go and hurt our Kodesh Avi, the Almighty, our Ruach HaKodesh. Imagine the extent that they've gone to hurt. Imagine the plan that they did in the garden. Why? Because they were jealous. Imagine. So 280, go back on the community post, you will see the definition of Waverley. And here we can see Pope Francis here, because he is the 266th Pope. Facts. This is facts. And this is just looking at the Mars season, which is 171 days. And so it's more or less like 3 months is a Mars season, right? And I've taken it away from the actual Mars figures. So it is just incredible. And wherever you see Pope Francis, that spirit of Elizabeth II is there. So here we see 953, which represents Queen Elizabeth II, her coronation year. And what they wanted to do was to inherit the Most High's elect, his inheritance. And you can see the story with Eve, because, whoa, the mother of all living things. Hey, if I can impregnate her, whoa, my firstborn is going to come from a perfect woman. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you, really? You know? And today, is it not the same? Aren't the daughters of Zion ravished? Aren't the daughters of Zion ravished? Aren't the daughters of Zion set up to be in relationships that they should not even be in? Aren't they? But good news, the Most High knows how to turn all of the adversary's plans around for good. For good. He knows how to turn the plan around for good. So don't worry. Don't worry. And also we see here 450, which represents to the broad way. It's a broad path. It's a broad way. And 409 is death. It's associated with death. And the 819 is actually on the corner of Bevington Road and what's it called? And Albert Road. And as a little girl, I actually lived on Albert Road, and in my mama womb, I was living on Bevington's Road. And that's why I've given you that task to actually know where you live, do the little task, so you can kind of like put the picture together of what was going on with you, and you'll also know what your tribe is, without a shadow of a doubt. Father, he none of the words drop, not one word will drop. You will know what your tribe is. And 258 is Islam. So on the 18th of December 2022, Gregorian, 325 is a number that's associated with Mars. So if you look at the magic squares, you'll know that 325 is a number that is associated with Mars, with that Mars star. And we also see there 638, which also relates to Nimrod. And 1011 is a start date. I couldn't understand why everything that I was going through got dragged out until that 11th day of the 10th month. Unreal. And 511 as well. That's on Albert Road, the BT pole. And here you can see 1010, which is associated with breaking. And we know that Eve's temple got broken in. When she took the bait, when she took the fruit, her temple was broken into. And 551 under that 280 Waverley represents the Antichrist church. And 967, every time you see a 67, is to do with the serpentine seed. Always to do with the serpentine seed. Haven't done everything. 1012, again, that's to do with Moloch. 512, that's also a BT pole on Albert Road, where the Hebrews who came on the Windrush ships were located in Birmingham, Aston. 281, Albany, the Whites. Got Portugal there in the mix. 922 is a breach. So we do know in the Garden of Eden there was a breach. And 538 is 5 intercalary days from 533. 533 is when Queen Elizabeth I was born, and 538 is like a banking day. So they're banking on us messing up, falling for their temptation, falling. But, you know, the Most High is good. The Most High is good. There's no temptation common to man. There's no temptation. Stay strong in the Most High. And 954 is Zeus. So, and 213 is always associated with a Jew or a Hebrew. And 98, Ratzinger, the church, the papacy. 1122, Simon, the papacy. 223, light treatment. And 451, Columbus. So if you think about Columbus's name, if you read it from right to left, you'll get Moloch, okay? So, and then you've got 910, and that means Canaan. Canaan means there's Smith, and that's associated with King George. And we also have here 257, which is associated with King James. 257 or 257 is associated with the Commonwealth. Who is the Commonwealth? You are, the elect. Yasharal, the elect, and the elect. And 410 means Al, deity. And 820 is the birth of, quote-unquote, Queen Elizabeth I, or whatever that birth was. So, kind of like, I wasn't expecting to see this birthday with the 820, with Queen Elizabeth and all of that. And even with Nimrod, I wasn't expecting all of that today. But that's an added bonus. So all praises to the Most High. Please seek truth always. Always seek truth. Repent, fast, pray, seek truth, and action the word. Shalom. Before you go, I just need to say this. When we go back to the community polls, the recent community polls where it talks about who wants to replace the mother. So in the garden, we are seeing 280, which we all know now is Waverley, Azael, and who wanted to replace the mother. Now we have the answer to the question. Yeah? So it's important for us to get, in all our getting of knowledge, let us get understanding. It's so important. And I just give all praises continuously to our Creator, the power of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, and to the Ruach HaKodesh, to all the set-apart Melachim who is guiding, to Yahushua HaMashiach for showing us the way to go. And I just give thanks for the great cloud of witnesses. Because of them, I've been able to use their primary data for the research that's been taking place over the last 5 years since that attack on the 29th of the 9th, 2017. The Most High is good. He is so good. And since I was placed in that room 17, I tell you something, that's a story for another day. Shalom.